if you're not in class today, or if you just want a refresher on what we talked about copyright for students and what that means. First, we're going to talk what is copyright. And copyright refers to a federal law that protects work created by you or anyone else from being copied, changed, or used without permission. If you create something, that could be a story, a photograph, a poem, song, drawing, anything that you created, it belongs to you and others have to get your permission to use it. That is a federal law that protects you. Fair use is kind of interesting because you can use things in the education that are for educational purposes that are okay to use under fair use that may not be covered because of copyright. So there you don't have as many issues. However, a lot of times in class, the things that we create we'll put online, and that is when our fair use is no longer applicable. So if it's something that we're just doing in class, you're never going to show it outside of school, then you have a few guidelines to follow, but not as many as if there's a copyright. Right here, it says the base, and I'll have all of these links online for you to get. This is the basic guidelines right here. So if you use a book, you can use 1,000 words, no more than 10% of the book. So that's, a lot of words. But if it's a shorter poem or book or magazine, you can only use 10% of it. So keep that in mind. You can use a poem up to 250 words, no more than 3 by the same poet, no more than 5 from a collection of poetry. You can use up to 5 pictures from the same person, no more than 15 from the same collection. You can't change them. Now remember, this is, even if they're copyright, you can use this with fair use in an educational setting for educational reasons, but it cannot be put online. You could use a video up to 3 minutes, but no more than 10%. So if you had a short video, you couldn't use very many minutes, only 10% of the entire video, and you can't change the clip. Music, 10% again, but only up to 30 seconds, but no more than 10%. And it cannot be changed in any major way, and then you'll need to give credit to your source. So those are some copyright fair use, but remember, we are not just doing fair use. Because we have to abide by copyright because we're going to be using these outside of just our classroom. Now, do you always have to follow them? You may avoid them if you write or email the person who created the work and ask permission to use it. Getting written permission is the safest way to make sure your report or presentation is legal and it's easy thanks to the convenience of email. Now, this may or may not be easy. I have asked for permission from someone before to use it. It was in our yearbook when I was in high school, and I finally got through to the production company. We had to call. It took several weeks or possibly even months to get everything that I needed for that, but we were able to do it, and we didn't have to pay anything even. How can you make sure your own work is copyrighted? It is. Automatically, it's copyrighted. You can put copyright 2005 and then your name to show, and you can register it if you would like. And then it lasts for 70 years or until the death of or 70 years after the death of its creator, unless it was published before 1923, and then it's not protected by copyright. It would be public domain. So if you want more information about copyright, here are some things, and one of those I like is this one that takes you here, and there's a question. What is copyright? You click on it and it answers it. It's a law. It protects us. What about me? Doesn't the public have a right to use it? Well, yes, and that's the rights of the public. That's where fair use comes in, but only with limited amounts. What is public domain? That they're not copyrighted and they may be used without permission. However, you should still give credit. So you can go through some of these and get some answers about copyright and what fair use is, how do you use it, and things like that. And then this is one, who's going to know? You'll know. If you're violating copyright, it may come up, it may not. But you put yourself in the author's place. What if you created something awesome and then someone else got credit? You wouldn't feel very good. Or if you could have sold that, what you made, but someone else has a copy, so now you can't even sell them because no one's going to buy them because people are just giving them out for free. That's what it is with copyright. That's why we have it, so that other people can't do that. There are a couple videos that you can watch. Here's one. Again, this will be, the site will be on there for you to use. You can watch this video, and it will give you some information about copyright, what to do and what not to do, and why. And there's also some cases. This is one that I like to show. It's about Vanilla Ice and Queen and David Bowie. It's a song that Vanilla Ice actually took part of the core or the music from the baseline, and there's some issues with that as well. So this kind of gives you an overview of copyright. We will talk about it more as the semester goes on, but remember, for our digital citizenship projects, they will be due September 26th, and we want to make sure that we're not violating any copyright issues. So when you go to Edmodo and you go to your class and you click on folders, you can look at the information here. This will give you ideas of what the class is doing. And their deadline is September 30th, but we need to have one in class so that we can be ready to turn that in. This is the rubric that they are using, so we're going to use that one as well, but I'll have time to conference with you to make sure that we get all of this in the way we want it. Another folder has projects in it, and it has different things you can use. There's WeVideo, Animoto, Powtoon, and then this royalty-free music. This will take you, and you can actually search for music that you can use, and there are no copyright issues with it. You will just have to give permission. There's a license here, and you can do that. So we'll talk more about this in Creative Commons as well as fair use and copyright soon. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.